It's going good.
Good deal. So, I had a customer call, and they were talking about putting bleach into their water.
Interesting.
To preserve their flowers to make them last longer. It was something that I had never heard of. I thought it was crazy. I've done flowers for a long time, and I understand the concept maybe, but it really sounded pretty wild. She said she was an ex-florist, so she knew stuff. But I thought that would be kind of a cool video today to maybe look at some of the top ways to preserve the fresh flowers. Yeah. A quick Google search on what that might be, and then maybe even throw in a couple other little things that
Kill them.
might fall along those lines. Or kill them. Kill them. That's
I mean,
I hope not, but typically that's.
Hey, that's
what happens.
That's entertainment right
That's
there.
what happens to a fresh flower. They typically just die.
It happens.
So yeah, so when I did this search, I found that, bleach wasn't necessarily on it. We're gonna try it. A lot of people want to put like aspirin or put flower food is one of them. That's something you can get at a local florist. I'm sure you can get them online as well. I've actually never bought any because typically they just come with some flowers and I kind of have a backstock of them. I'm sure you can find them. And then a lot of people are going to put sugar in the water. So I guess the flowers like sugar. And then changing the water is just what we recommend. But kind of the main issue is bacteria building up in the vase. So that's what a lot of these things, all these remedies I think are trying to accomplish is either getting rid of bacteria, and I think the sugar is supposed to feed said flower.
Nah, well,
So
what if we have them, keep them in a really dirty container, and then we just don't cut them. We just let them live in whatever filth.
try it in the murkiness.
Yeah, the murkiness.
Murky water, yeah. See, that's what we recommend to our customers is fresh water, fresh cut. And so what it is, because a flower is a lot like a straw. It's going to suck up that water, and that bacteria actually blocks the straw. So you either try to get rid of the bacteria, or a fresh cut's going to reopen that straw.
So we're going to cut it?
We're going to cut some of them.
Okay, cool.
Fresh cut.
Yeah, fresh cut. Yeah, all right, well.
I think that sounds like a good plan.
That sounds awesome. Let's get to it.
Let's get to the laboratory. Here we go.
What a man, dude. What a man.
Yes.
What a man.
All right. It's not super.
See, look, we have all that stuff. So it's a good restart. All right, we're recording.
All right, so we got some stuff set up. I think we're gonna give it a go. Cayman, you ready? You coming?
Yep. I got the vases.
I think maybe the suit's a little overkill, but
No, I
I
like
don't
it.
think any of these chemicals are,
It makes
gonna
me
get you.
feel pretty, okay?
I mean, you look great.
Thank you.
Great.
Women like people in suits.
They sure do. Maybe not that one, but
Nah, dude, this is
yeah,
this is
look great.
the fly. All right,
Here we go. Let's start with maybe just some water.
Yeah, let's start with some water, or we can start with the Red Bull mix.
Okay, let's do it. Start with Red Bulls. Red Bulls. All right, we got the Red Bull poured.
That was crazy.
I'm gonna do a 50-50 mix, a little bit of water. The flowers will like water. They will not like Red Bull.
Are you sure?
In my humble opinion. No, I'm not. That's why I'm doing said test.
Ah, good point.
All right, little splashy splash. Maybe just the rest of it.
Finish it off. And let me stir it because I'm wearing the.
Yeah, well, wait. Don't get any splashes on you. But if you do, You're well protected.
I know.
right.
Okay, let's taste the. No, I'm just kidding. We'll do that later.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, let's move that to the side.
All right.
And now let us do Gatorade.
Go down the line with some Gatorade.
Gatorade and Gatorade. We have another Gatorade.
Do full Gatorade and a small amount of Gatorade.
Full Gatorade and small amount.
All right.
So let us get the Gatorade in there now. Wow, that was incredible.
Yes, it was. That slow-mo shot was beautiful.
I know. Editor, you did a good job.
Yeah. All right, so now let's do a little bit of just a small amount.
Let's dilute it a little bit with a little bit of water.
H2O.
Get water in there. Oh yeah, look at
I
that.
really think the flowers are gonna like this one. I think the electric lights.
Well,
They love lights. They love electricity.
you ever seen Idiocracy?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well,
Obviously, work for them.
Plants got what plants crave. It got electrolytes. That's right. All right, let's move those to the side. Let's do it again. All right. Let's move to something fun. Let's do some alcohol. Let's do some Coors Light.
Coors Light.
Let's do a Coors Light.
Finest of all the beers, right?
I mean, I'm not 21 yet, so
You don't touch that, sir.
I don't drink. I am turning 20 next week. And I
Happy
hope,
early birthday.
thank you. I hope not to remember it. Talking about my 21st, not my 20th, right?
All right, here we go.
Okay, let's get to pouring.
Let's do it.
Wow, that was crazy.
Another great pour.
Another beautiful pour.
Okay.
The head was amazing.
That's what she said. All right, so let's do a little touch there.
Yeah.
Dilute.
Absolutely. Wouldn't that be a more of that's what he says though?
Yeah, I think so. Just gotta touch more. There you go.
I'll go just finish it off a little.
Yeah, we want a little bit. We just want a little color. Still light though.
Oh yeah. All right. Move that over here. Might get that mixed up with the
Let's do the dark beer. So we have a light beer. We got
dark beer. Yes, the Voodoo Ranger would be Coke, and that would be right here. Boom.
Alright.
I stayed up late last night doing those labels, and last night was Halloween.
Got no life.
9 o'clock's my bedtime.
I hear you.
All right, let's get to pouring.
Good.
Another successful pour, I would say.
So again, on that one, I was going for a light beer and a dark beer, and apparently I don't know my beers well because it's a light beer and a light.
I mean, it happens sometimes. I mean, like, at least we know you're not an alcoholic.
Not yet. There's still time.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pour a little bit. Let's do the water in this one. So what do you think the flowers are gonna? You think they're gonna like?
I think the yeast
They're
in it
gonna
will
like
make
the
it better. You mind if I pour that?
Go for it.
Get a little bit of
Even though you're
the...
not supposed to be touching alcohol. Sir.
Actually, I'm allowed to touch it because we're in a private domicile.
It is an open container though.
Okay, but we're not public.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know on the yeast. I almost think that's gonna like clog the stems.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
people,
maybe
people
it-
really like it.
Yeah, I know. People really like it. Flowers may like it.
So they might. They just might.
I mean, yeast is a flower, kind of. I mean, it's a plant. I mean, same cells, so I mean, like, you know.
Yeah, it's the same. They're gonna love it.
Probably turn flowers into alcohol. All right, let's move that over here. All right, let's do some. Let's just continue with the theme of alcohol. Let's do some Southern Comfort,
SoCo.
actual some hard liquor. Well, what's that? Is that whiskey or?
This is New Orleans Spirit whiskey with natural flavors and caramel color.
Ooh, caramel.
Yes, only the good stuff.
Well, isn't that nice? Well, let's get to pouring that. Ooh, that's strong. Here, let me get.
Flower's gonna like that.
It smells like cough syrup.
Whiskey. Make you feel better. All right.
Dude, that made my throat warm just by smelling it.
Get you.
All right,
All right, here we go.
let's pour. Oh, yeah.
All right, I think that went well.
Yeah.
Pour. It's a nice pour.
Yeah. I mean, that's what, like a shot. Spicy?
Yeah. All right. Let's a little bit of just a small amount. Dilute it. That's
Now-
how people drink it with the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little recipe I got for you to get kids to go to sleep, right? You just put a little down their
Let's
lips.
rub the whiskey on the gums.
Just absolutely
When they're teething.
goes out like a light.
Love it. All right.
All right. Let's finish off with this alcohol theme. Just get her out there. Let's do some Aristocrat.
Aristocrat. Yes.
So I had a friend who told me that this is the alcoholic's beverage of choice
Well, yeah.
because it's cheap
Exactly.
and clear.
When you've hit rock bottom. Aristocrat.
Sponsor us, Aristocrat. That would be.
Even though we didn't say anything very nice about Aristocrat. But
I mean,
it is affordable.
it is very affordable.
All right.
All right,
Here we go.
let's get her in there and let's get a pour going.
Let's get a pour. Let's do it. All right, Aristocrat is poured. We can do a little mixy mix on this one.
Yep.
Since it's clear liquid and clear liquid, we have
I mean,
no
yeah.
idea our ratio.
I mean, we're not scientists.
I mean, there's no science to this.
I mean, I'm dressed like one. So.
I want more. Well, I mean,
A
that's
little more.
yeah. Let's just. There you go. Gonna love it. All right, let's do some. Put this aside here. Yeah.
Sorry,
After that goes.
grabbing it wrong. Pouring over here. So
What next, sir?
let's do fresh water daily. Let's just get this one filled up.
Fresh water. Okay.
So these ones are a little different than the other ones. These are ones we'll actually actively be cutting for the next couple days. So you guys won't see it, but you'll see it in the progression video when we come back to you in a few days. So we're just gonna get this one nice and pour
This
it in
one I'm
here.
gonna change the water out every single day
Yep.
as a remedy that we recommend doing to your flowers. So
Put some water in
Yeah.
there, move it over. And now
the next one.
the next one is a little bit of fresh water, fresh cut. So this is fresh water right here, or at least today it's fresh. And then fresh cut where we'll go in and you'll cut
Every
the stems.
single day, I'm gonna cut the stem a little bit. We cut our stems at a 45-degree angle with a nice sharp knife. So I'm gonna cut that every single day.
To get that, ooh.
We'll just pour it into the next one.
Yeah, pour it into the next one. This is smart.
Yes.
This is why this man's my boss.
There you go.
Okay, and this is no cut, no fresh water.
Yeah, so this is gonna be, we're gonna cut the flower one time, we're gonna pour it in here, we're not gonna change the water, we're not gonna cut the flower, and we're just gonna see how that does.
Yeah, let's just-
This is how a lot of people do it at home. They basically get their flower arrangement and they set it there,
down,
and they set it and forget it, and don't change the water, don't cut the stems, until maybe the water level is like very low, and they're like, oh no, I should probably add maybe a little bit more water.
Yeah.
So don't do that. Don't do that.
But if you want your flowers to last, what, like a day or two, then do that.
Exactly.
But like if you want them to last a little bit longer, well, what was it? We did a Google search, and it was like 5 to 7 for roses, 7 to 14 for daisies, carnations, and then the other.
Yeah, a lot of
daisies.
those would last, close to 3 weeks if you take care of them well. There is a little bit of time from whenever our suppliers send it, they receive it, and then it comes to us, we receive it. So a lot of times when the customer actually gets the flower, it's already a few days old. So really the longer that, the least amount of time that it stays in our shop, the more amount of time it's going to spend at your home.
Absolutely. All right, so this is the flower food.
All right.
So flower food is this little green packet, and it's a little what? It's a little food. We'll get a little money shot going. I got it. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Nice for that.
Some raise the fingers.
So it's a little white powder. I don't want to get pulled over with this stuff in a unlabeled bag. All right, let's get this poured in here.
Let's do it. All right,
Okay.
got the flower food in the vase.
Yep.
I put a little bit in this one as well, so we're just gonna put a small amount there.
Yeah. So I'm a little curious. So like, flower food doesn't really smell like. Do you know what it tastes like?
I actually have no idea what it is.
Like-
I don't even know.
Like, probably try a little bit, right? Just to see if it's.
The flowers seem to like it.
I mean, yeah. If the flowers like it, so we'll just get. No, it's not bad. It's just like chemicals,
Is it sweet?
I mean, it's a little. I mean, it tastes a little like sugar. I mean,
You can have as much as you want.
I will, but that would like get into the.
All right, let's put some water in.
All right, so
We're just gonna do that much there.
Yep. And
Show that guy.
there. Grab this spoon over here. Reach in there. Now, I'm gonna
Professional mixer.
dissolve. This one, you gotta add a little more water in that one. Just it's supposed to be. Nice and good.
Well dissolved. Probably dissolves best into warm water that we don't have.
Yep. It's been sitting here for hours. All right.
Moving on.
Okay. We are now on the one you've been waiting for and probably been eyeing up and down. The Coca-Cola.
Cola.
You thought I was going to do Mountain Dew, right? Haha. Joke's on you. All right. So a little bit about Coke. So it is actually like a tried and tested remedy. Like if you look up, can I put Coke in flower arrangement? They'll say put a little
You sure
in.
can.
But the thing is though, like a little bit is gonna be like okay, but a lot, like
Right. I think what it is flowers like a little bit of sugar. I think the sugar gets in the flower. I mean, that's kind of what the flowers make with their chlorophyll, I believe, is, scientific word that I know.
Chlor is glucose.
Okay, well, which is sugar, right?
Yeah.
And so what's in Coke? A lot of sugar.
Like I saw a video where it was like how much sugar's in a Coke, and they just dumped out like a bunch of sugar on a table, and it's like about a plate worth
It's
or
a lot.
whatever.
It's a lot.
Like-
That's why it's so delicious.
Like that's all sugar. Like
Right.
that's just all sugar. A little corn syrup.
But I think the flowers are gonna like it.
I like it.
I like it.
I'm more of a Coke person.
I'm gonna give less to the flowers so I can drink the rest of it.
That's what I was gonna do.
Okay.
All right, let's get to pouring.
Let's give it a pour. Perfect. All right, so let's do now just a splash of cola.
Yeah, let's do a splash. Yeah, that's not
That's a pretty good splash.
Put a little bit of this water, and this is just normal water, premium distilled water. Hide it.
I like
Put a little extra in there, just because Coke is so dark. Like, look at the difference. Like you can really see that caramel color.
it's gorgeous.
I know. You know, they call it caramel color, but like it doesn't taste like caramel. It tastes like really bitter, like just pure caramel color.
All right.
Okay, so now we are on Mountain D.
The dew of the mountain.
The dew of the mountain. So yeah, now I don't remember if this is right, but the reason Mountain Dew is called Mountain Dew is because they used to use it and mix it with like moonshine and all that, and they always were in the mountains.
I don't think that's right.
I think it is, because that's why the original like mascot for Mountain Dew is a moonshiner.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember those commercials.
You really don't remember those commercials?
I don't.
Dude, I'm younger than you. How do you not remember these commercials?
It's not the channels I was watching. You know, let's mix it up a little bit. Let's go in for a slow motion pour.
I mean, what we've been doing.
Alright, so we got the Mountain Dew poured. I did a little bit of fact checking while I was pouring. I know, I'm very talented at fact checking and pouring. However, Mountain Dew got its name from a Southern and Scot-Irish slang term for moonshine. Good job, sir. It says, which is a homemade whiskey. The term was referenced in the Irish folk song, The Rare Old Mountain Dew from 1882. So, yeah, you know your stuff. You're like just a wealth of useless knowledge.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That a lot. So let's do the Mountain Dew small amount with distilled water.
Alright.
So just pour a touch of that, a dash of that.
There we go.
See, we're making potions like we're in middle school or the elementary school.
You need to mix that one.
I will absolutely
Or you
mix
think
that.
we did good enough?
Oh, splash a little bit everywhere. See, that's why I'm wearing the
Well
protective
protected.
suit.
That's right.
And he is not, even though I am his subordinate. Figure that. Alright, so next one, gonna be real quick. So, tell me a little bit about why use pennies.
So, just another remedy that I heard. Somebody said put a penny in your vase of flowers.
Which I just did.
Again, I think it goes back to the bacteria. So it's either neutralizing bacteria, helping bacteria not form. I don't know the copper, if it's really even copper. Anyway.
I mean, it's like 2% copper,
Yeah,
98% zinc. But
So maybe throwing a little bit of copper in there, maybe whenever actually pennies were made from copper, it was a good thing.
I mean, yeah, you know, it happens sometimes.
Yeah, so they said throw a penny in there, so I figure, you know, what one penny can do, 5 pennies can do better.
Well, it's just the outside that's copper. So like the inside's all zinc. So it's like a copper foil kind of.
Well, then that's perfect, because that's all we need is the outside.
Yep. So let's just
Top it off. Good to go.
Yeah, there's your pennies. And now, second to last
It's over behind you.
is the...
You left it over there. Aspirin.
Oh. Yeah, we'll just probably cut it.
Okay. Can we cut that? Alright.
Can.
Alright.
Okay. Second to last, aspirin. So, aspirin, same logic as the other stuff. It's like, aspirin's like caffeine pills pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know.
Caffeine
Again, I don't know what the science is. I'm not the one wearing the suit. However, we looked in the cabinet for aspirin. We came up with ibuprofen.
Close enough.
It's gotta be the same. They both take care of your headache.
I know ibuprofen has a lot of caffeine in it because it's
Yeah.
to get it out.
It's good for you.
So, you'll grab
So yeah, here you.
this stuff. So we got ourselves a little hammer and a
Some
piece of paper.
to make less of a mess. Was the
Yeah.
idea of this.
We are not the slow-mo
I've
guys.
seen this done in the movies.
Yeah, they're using
Yeah, I don't think it's aspirin.
they're using the back of a.
Oops. Don't smash my fingers, please. Shit it?
I think so.
I'll miss one.
I missed one, but you know.
Alright.
All right, so I in my pocket have $1 bill, and we need to experiment on something.
No.
Yeah, pour that. So I've actually never seen the inside of a ibuprofen pill before.
I haven't either. I would just swallow them whole.
Yeah, I know.
I rarely chew them up.
So, like the other one, let's do it. I'm just kidding. So we're just gonna put some water in there.
That's nice, little chunkies.
Yeah,
Flowers are gonna love that.
I hope so. Mix it all up. So, little fun fact, useless fact about pills. So, pill science has been studied for so long that every coating that you see on a pill is actually like strategically made and engineered to like dissolve in a certain part of your body. So it makes it heal faster. Like certain ones get in your stomach, certain ones dissolve in your intestines, certain ones dissolve in your colon. So
And ibuprofen?
Ibuprofen? I don't know, dude.
Probably in your stomach.
I just know, probably. I mean, it has to get through, like, it's probably in your intestines, because it has to get through your cells to your head.
Look at that pink color it's turned up.
Yeah. The pink color on this. You know,
Yeah, that's real
get
nice.
this in for the camera. Oh,
Like
the focus isn't gonna
That's a nice.
focus. We don't use autofocus here. But yeah, it's all nice and pink. You probably get really close to that. That's good.
There you go.
So yeah,
Moving on, we got something else?
yeah, we got something else. Right after this cool transition. Wow, that was just a crazy transition, wasn't it?
That's awesome.
All right. So last but not least,
The substance that started it all.
is the bleach, which we had hidden down there the entire time.
Exactly,
Didn't have
yes.
to run to the store and
Not
grab
at all. No, definitely didn't need to send a driver for this.
Nope, not at all. So, yeah.
And wow, it's pre-open.
Wow, that's crazy. So,
Yeah, you have the suit.
so I
This
just
is what
want
this
to
is for.
warn y'all that bleach is dangerous. Don't mix it with anything. Like if you mix it with beer, you'll get ammonia gas, and basically half the stuff on this table you mix it with, you're gone. I'm not gone. You're just gonna have a bad time. Actually, story time. So you know that Comet bleach stuff? That Comet?
Comet, yeah.
Put a little bit of that. That's ammonia based. This stuff's bleach based. So you put that in. Oh no, the toilet
First,
cleaner.
first you put that in,
Yeah.
scrub with it, and then pour the bleach.
Yeah,
on
then he
top
put
of
that in here. So yeah, I ended up like coughing up blood.
it. And then
like
like pass out in the tub.
that was fun.
and die.
So
Oh, this
yeah,
is the real story. You did this.
it's more my dad.
Oh, okay.
And then he told me, and then I tried it, and then I did it too. All right, so
I like
let's
that.
get.
All right, that was a healthy amount of bleach.
So bleach is supposedly really good. Can you explain to the viewers?
Yeah. So again, this was a start at all. The customer called and said she adds a small amount of bleach to her flower water, and assuming that keeps the water clean, bacteria out of it. That's too much. That's way too much. She said a splash. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we're gonna do. This is the substance that started it all. Really got me thinking of wow, what are the things might be good for flowers? So bleach, small amount of bleach.
That stuff
Maybe we
smells like
top
it.
this. Just get a nice little mixy mix. Yeah,
That stuff
great.
smells like it'll hurt. Like
Yeah,
it's like almost like it's not a bad smelling smell, but it smells like if it was any stronger, it would hurt you bad.
flowers are not gonna like it, in my humble opinion.
Well,
Yeah. All right.
all right. Well,
I think that concludes kind of what
that
we had
concludes
going on.
what we have today. But this epic transition now will transfer us into the future. Bye bye. Hey, so time jump wasn't very long. It's been about a solid what?
10 minutes?
10 minutes, yeah. So now it's time for a flower.
We're actually gonna get the flowers in the vases.
Yeah, so this is what, like $500 in flowers, $250.
a couple $100, yeah.
Yeah. So
It's a pretty expensive video. It's really costing us here, so I hope you guys enjoy.
I mean, kinda. All right. So let's get in here. So we're doing a rose in a
And a Gerber daisy. Yep, it's a
Gerber
big
daisy.
daisy. The Gerber daisies are pretty susceptible, so they're kind of a finicky flower. So I think that'll be the true test on whether it goes down quickly or not, because they're kind of susceptible to damage. So
Yeah.
the roses they're not a super long-lasting flower, but this specific variety has a nice petal count. It's a really nice. It opens up well, so I think this will be a good test too of whether it's absorbing well and helping the flower or hurting the flower.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get these in the pots. Okay, so now that we have all the flowers in their pots, we're going to now cut to a few days in the future. So yeah, imagine a really wacky transition right here to how many days are you hoping this is going to be? 3?
Yeah, three.
3 days. 3 days in the future, and we'll be right back to you.
See you in 3 days.
Hey, we're back. So it's been around what?
3 days.
3 days, and
Here we are.
we have some updates for our loyal viewer that's been watching this video. So
Yeah, there's some pretty interesting results.
yeah, we got a couple really crazy ones. So you want to talk about the bleach?
Yeah, the bleach has really been pretty wild. So actually the stems are turning white. Obviously bleach will bleach things, but it's like eating up the stems, turning it white, just almost disintegrating the stem. But here 3 days later, the flowers actually still look pretty good, which is pretty wild. And the small amount of bleach, same thing, a little bit less of the stem getting deteriorated, but there's still some spots turning white. But the flowers surprisingly look well
Yeah.
for 3 days. So I'm pretty blown away by that.
So let's move on over here to the Gatorade. So Gatorade, like we said earlier, it's got what plants crave. It got electrolytes. And so the flowers seem they're fairly good.
Yeah, I mean, really, I'm surprised in most things, because these flowers were actually about 5 days old whenever I put them in here. So they were things that were kind of going down. So it was kind of a true test, fresh cut, to see what was going to, re-soak up and take it. And again, most of the flowers look pretty good. These roses blow out really nice. They're a nice big open rose. But obviously the regular water, the flower food, those look the best. Gets kind of engineered to be what it is, what they like. The flower food I think looks the nicest. The flowers still look really strong. You can tell the difference on when you touch the rose head on like the Southern Comfort or the other alcohol, the Aristocrat, versus touching the flower food and the water, because the flower just feels well hydrated, it feels really stiff. The ones over here just feel a little bit more dehydrated, they feel a little bit softer. Another thing I was noticing on like the SoCo and the Aristocrat, the full Southern Comfort and the Aristocrat vodka, both of them are actually drying up the stem. So that is, it is a dehydrator.
Yeah.
And it is actually drying the stem. The Gerber Daisy right here still looks pretty good, but the stem is just like a dried up nothing.
It's basically just a straw. Like you can, like it's still, like if you feel it, it has still a little bit of that flex in it.
Yeah.
It's not like fully dry, but
I'm guessing by the morning, there's no way this flower is going to look nice tomorrow. And if we run this for a few more days, these have got to go down soon. I'm shocked they still look good on 3 days.
also
the beers. So the beers, they don't look great, which that's kind of wild. It is Coors Light. But even the Voodoo Ranger, which is pretty good stuff, the Gerber Daisy has gone down. So I think again, dehydrator. I don't know if it's yeast maybe that would clog some of the stems possibly, but both of the beers, the Gerber Daisy has gone down. The roses, they look pretty decent. They definitely feel softer like the Aristocrat, like the SoCo, but they're definitely still looking pretty nice for, again, I'm surprised in that alcohol that it's not eating it up more than it is.
Yeah, I also, while looking at it, so the Voodoo Ranger small amount, I believe it is, it has like a droopiness to it. You're not seeing it on any of the other ones. So this is the small amount one, and I'll bring it up to the camera. It's very droopy, it's almost like an umbrella. The rose itself, it feels very like dry on itself, which that's not it's supposed to feel fairly dry.
I mean, again, they definitely feel happier, but the rose isn't unhappy. It still is a pretty beautiful rose at this point. The Gerber Daisy is definitely sad, but sometimes you get a finicky one and it goes down.
Yeah.
But for it to be consistently both of the beers that went down, it's got to be something in there that's clogging that stem. My fresh cut fresh water still looks pretty good. I think all the sodas actually turned out pretty good. Coke, the Gatorade, any of those.
I think your sugar.
I think the sugar works really well for the flowers. Probably not the full cola, but I think the partial cola everything looks pretty good. So I'd say that would be fine. The Red Bull I think is kind of
Rickle's
making it.
fine. I mean,
it's a little bit sadder than the rest of
what it
them,
is.
but again, I'm surprised that it's hanging in there as well.
Yeah.
So
what do you think? Do you think we give this a couple more days?
yeah, let's run this till next Friday. That'll put it at a week. We'll see. I would imagine over the next few days we're gonna have a lot of these flowers going real sad.
Well, hopefully that's it, and hopefully some of these flowers are even better. We have some like hidden flower cure.
We'll keep cutting on the other ones, the fresh cut, fresh flowers, some fresh water. I'll keep swapping that out every day, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Before we do a little cut, the Coors Light one, I don't know, the light, it just looks weird. Doesn't this look weird? Like it just looks like it's missing petals. But
Yeah, it's getting really thirsty. Like it's gonna be like this guy soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It might have had a lesser petal count just on that flower, so that could have been some of it. But I think it doesn't like beer. Flowers don't like beer.
I mean, well, the daisies don't like the beer, these little Gerber daisies, but the roses, they're doing just fine.
Yeah,
so
the
maybe
roses
are alcoholics.
Okay, that could be it.
I mean, I'm not one to speculate, but all right.
No judging.
Well, we will be right back with you guys. For you guys, it's going to be a second. For us, it's going to be a couple days. So yeah, let's. What should we do for the wacky transition?
Here we go.
Yeah. Wow, that was incredible.
That was a crazy transition.
Our editor is awesome.
For sure. It really
So,
is. Extremely good looking as well.
Oh, thank you. So, this is 1 weekend.
Yep.
We're gonna go
Friday,
3 more
Friday.
days just to extend this to a Monday. But where we're at,
Overall, man, I am super impressed with a lot of the way that these have turned out. I mean, our kind of controls, one that have fresh water, have pennies, have like the flower food, all of those, man, those are still looking really good. I mean, that's just like a testament to Linda's flowers right there. I mean, the flowers were already a week old whenever we put them in here, and now it's been an additional week. So for these Gerber daisies and roses to last, I mean, 1 week is in the cooler, so that kind of slows down the process. But for them to last this long, I'm pretty impressed with them. Obviously, some of the ones that are over here that were like the Coke and the booze and those kind of things, not so happy. But let's take a look at some of the cool ones. See what's happening.
I'm gonna bring attention to the aspirin first. So this one probably put a little too
Aspirin,
much.
ibuprofen.
Yeah.
Didn't like it. Didn't like it.
No, it's this one's basically gone. It's all wilted, and the rose is all dry.
And a lot of on the test, what I'm doing here is I'm going to touch the rose like this. I'm going to feel it, and the difference between like grabbing this one, it still looks decent, but you can tell how soft it is opposed to some of like the water. You can touch the rose, and it's actually got like some hardness to the petal, so you can feel like this one's again closer to wilting. The other ones are still looking pretty good. Obviously, something like the SoCo, and this is even this. So this is the full.
Yeah, southern.
That's the full southern, and then the small amount. The small amount. So again, a little bit of booze in moderation kills you slower.
Yeah.
Opposed to
the rose. Unlike last week, the rose is actually like almost gone. The stem is thin.
And so with the Southern Comfort and the Aristocrat, both of the stems have just completely like dried up. So again, I think that's what it does to your body as well. It's a dehydrator, so it dries those stems up, which is interesting.
So I also want to call attention to the flower food full. So amazingly, this one has a growth on it.
Yeah, it's got a little bud that's going to grow. I don't think I've ever seen them actually turn into anything. A lot of times once the rose is cut, you don't have something, but I think there are people that can take that and put like the growth hormone on it and actually start a plant from these little clippings. But again, the Gerber daisy just really strong and healthy. The petals aren't even, they're still sturdy, they're not wilty at all. Same thing with the rose, that's just got a lot of strength to it. So, I mean, the flower food, there's something to it.
I mean, like,
flower food. Wow, who'd have thought?
I mean, yeah. So let's go on over to the Coca-Cola. So, yep. Coca-Cola, so it has a little bit of mold in it. I mean, that's to be expected from Coke, you leave it out in the air. I mean, Coke in the bottle can last literally years, but as soon as it's exposed to air and it leaches, see, what it is mold really lacks sugar. Like flowers like sugar. Mold wants sugar, and it also got all the other jazz in it. So
if you're gonna do Coke, I would probably swap the water and then just a small amount of Coke.
Just a dash.
Yeah, just a little bit. Both of these are actually pretty similar. I mean, the full-on Coke versus a small amount, I mean, I'm not so sure that rose doesn't feel stronger than this rose.
It's probably the same, you know.
Yeah, but they're pretty close. So again, I'm pretty impressed at a week old in Coke that it still looks like a flower and not like something like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. So let's go on to the bleach. The bleach is bleach.
And this is a
The
small
small amount of bleach has.
I mean, look at the stems on that. It's bleach. The
stem is bleach. On the rose itself, the inside is all white.
Yeah.
On the large amount, that's just 100% bleach. It's gone. Like the rose is now.
The rose shrank down into the vase because it's deteriorating the stem so much.
Actually, it's giving me a headache.
There's nothing on there. I don't know if you can see that, but that's just a nasty.
Let's see it in close up.
Yeah, it's just a nastiness. And the flowers don't really like the bleach. Again, the small amount on the rose, it's pretty unhappy. I'm guessing another day or two, it's going to start losing petals. So again, maybe a small amount of bleach to kill some of the bacteria, not terrible, but a large amount. Obviously, your flower's not going to like to live in bleach.
Let's do Coors Light. So Coors Light, actually let's do Coors Light and Voodoo Ranger because they have very similar results except the Voodoo Ranger has something weird going on. So Coors Light mold as big
Lots of mold.
But the Voodoo Ranger large amount, no mold, not really any mold. But the small amount, dude, it has the mold is in
Mold City
roots. Like
yeah.
it looks like
it has a pattern. It is cool.
That would go good on certain items.
Right.
That would be a good.
But all of the beer has just. I mean, these roses have extreme wilt to them. That one's not as terrible. But most of them are very, very sad. The herbs are dead. So I'm gonna say beer, not way up there. Not way up there.
And 2 more left. Let's do
the Red Bull.
Mr. Red Bull himself. So Red Bull flower completely shrunken up.
Yep, it's dead.
Yeah,
Small amount, not terrible.
not bad.
I don't know what's in there. Sugar
It's caffeine. I mean, it's completely reversing. It's like going up.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that's how they wilt. Sometimes they go up and then they fall. But it's weird that that's the only one that's happening to.
And sometimes I'll get a Gerber daisy where they have the same situation, same water, and one dies faster than the other. That's why I wanted to do the Gerber and the rose. But to see that this Gerber daisy is standing, this rose still feels pretty strong. I mean, Red Bull, not a terrible option. If that's all you have for your flowers, a small amount mix it, Maybe, yeah.
And lastly, let's move on finally to the final of our weekly update. Southern Comfort. It's bad. I mean, like
the Aristocrat. It's drying up your stem.
Yeah,
there's no stem on there hardly. The flower, that one's just dying with class, but it's definitely dying.
And then the small amount actually, stem's looking good.
Yeah, this
rose is looking good.
Rose feels decent.
So I think just having a little bit of alcohol is
moderation is key.
Yeah. Okay, so I say we're going to let these sit for a couple more days, just round them out, and I think that'll be the end of the experiment on Monday.
Yes, sir. All right, we'll see what happens.
All right, we will see you in a couple days. Bye. Welcome back to a nice Monday afternoon. Today is November 11th, and I think today is the day we conclude our experiment on different flowers and different liquids. This has been a wonderful experiment. I mean, it's pretty disgusting looking back here. I mean, there's obviously in the past couple minutes,
pretty pungent smell.
Oh yeah,
coming from here. I mean, it's kind of a bleachy, boozy kind of.
Like it's hard. It hurts to breathe. It hurts to breathe a little bit. So Coors Light, moldy. There was one that we were doing. I really think it was the Voodoo Ranger. The Voodoo Ranger small amount is the one I wanted to highlight. It literally turned black. Like those roots that were on that last, it's black.
That was mold. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the takeaway though is that just your fresh water is really good. The flower food, I think it actually does look the best. So no surprise there, I think. Even the freshwater daily, the fresh cuts, the penny.
The pennies look magnanimous.
The penny, I think, is there's not much happening. I think it's still just it's pretty comparable to the fresh water.
Yes.
So I don't think anything's really happening with the penny. I think everything is really just pretty much fresh water. I know I've said it like 4 times now, but I think the fresh water, flour, food, fresh cut, I think that's pretty much a recipe for a win.
So, just want to highlight one real fast. The bleach, 100%, the stem is gone.
I mean, all those stems shrank by 6 or 8 inches because it was eating the stem up and the flour was just falling down into the base.
There's a piece of stem floating in there.
Yeah, I mean, there's, and most of it just disintegrated.
I know, that's crazy. And then the 50% bleach, which is right here, the entire stem on the, look at that, it's just all wilted. I mean, you could feel it. I mean, that's literally
disgusting.
It's translucent.
Yeah, it's just clear.
This one is like, you know, it's white on the inside.
Clear on the inside.
It's clear on the inside. Yeah, so I think I want to point out a couple surprise ones that are actually doing real good. The Mountain Dew came out surprisingly well. It's very full. The rose is very hydrated, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, really, that one looks pretty good. And the Gatorade back there isn't terrible.
Yeah, the Gatorade.
I think the GERD kind of suffered, but that could have just been, you know, even maybe a not a great flour to begin with, but it's still sturdy. And this was a little bit softer than the rest of them. Definitely not as good as the Mountain Dew, which is kind of surprising that the Coke didn't do better, which it grew a lot of mold. And I think the mold has bacteria, it clogs your stem. So possibly if we were doing Coke, if you'd have put fresh Coke in it, that might have...
What is the Coke small amount? The Coke
that
small
might have
amount.
been...
Where's the Coke large amount? Yeah. Okay, so wait, actually, speaking of Voodoo Ranger, so this is the Coke small amount, but Voodoo Ranger actually has something that I'm only seeing in the Voodoo Ranger. The mold is only accumulating on the stem. Isn't that wild? Mm-hmm. Now, why do you think that is?
I got no idea. I
Bring
don't know
it
if there
up
was
to the camera.
a spot on the stem maybe that, you know, was susceptible and then it... But none of those flowers are very happy. They don't like the beers.
Yeah.
Booze and beers, no bueno for your flowers.
Yeah, Mountain Dew did incredible. All of them have mold, so, I mean, I'm not a professional like yourself, but I will say that, like, really just probably stick with water, because if it's not water, it'll probably mold. But if I would have to say anything, alcohol's a big no-no for flowers.
For sure.
And,
bleach is pretty much a big no-no.
Yeah, where's the fresh water, fresh cut? Where is that one? There, nope. Nope. Flour, food, no cut, no fresh water. Okay, we also like to point out the no cut, no fresh water. It's looking okay, but you have to remember that your flowers are going to look good like for 3 weeks. And also, since you're getting it directly from us and it's not sitting in a store, I mean, you're getting it basically fresh, farm fresh, wouldn't you say?
Essentially.
Yeah.
The more time the less time it spends in our cooler, the more time it spends in your home, and that's the thing with Linda's flowers. There's a lot of flowers. We kind of move through them, so we're not a flower shop that's sitting on your flowers for a week before we send them to you. However, these were ones that were sitting here for a week,
2 weeks
and then get tested. This is actually we've had these flowers in house for 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
So 1 week was in the cooler, 1 week was here.
And the one that most people, the no cut, no fresh water, the one most people will probably most likely go with, the Gerb is looking fairly fresh. And I would honestly say that, like, it is not the fully freshest looking. I would say.
And actually, I was wrong on my math there. This is the 3rd week.
Oh,
this is the beginning.
The beginning of the 3rd week.
3rd week.
Oh, fresh water, fresh cut right here. They're a little short, but I will say that these are the most likely the healthiest looking. Like, feel that rose. Feel that rose is hydrated. Everything is nice and pretty on it. But if you guys don't like take care of your flowers, they'll live. But if you want to get that little oomph out of your flowers, just cut them, put a little extra water in it every now and then.
Keep your base clean.
Exactly.
And throw a little flower food in there if you got it.
Yeah. And honestly, maybe next time we make our own flower food and see what works.
Sure, we could see it.
Yeah.
There you go. Another video.
Yeah.
Another
video idea. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. It's a longer video for our first episode. Come back to us next week where we figure out what happens to flowers when you put them on a heater. Actually, it was a heat gun, correct?
Yeah, I think it turned into fire.
I mean, yeah, but like, don't spoil it for them.
Yeah.
And then come back for a week after that where we put flowers in a freezer.
Extreme Elements
Yep.
flower version.
And then leave a comment on any other suggestions you guys have. All right. Well, see you guys in the next one.
Thank you.